Hey everyone, my name is Equinox, and I'm a Zero Suit Samus main from Chicago. I've mained Zero Suit since Smash 4, and I also am one of the staff members of the Zero Suit Samus Discord. I see a lot of people in the Discord and a lot of people on Twitter asking for advice on how to combo with Zero Suit Samus, and nobody has made a guide yet. I don't even think anybody ever made a guide in Smash 4, so I decided that I would go ahead and make my own. This one isn't going to go very in-depth. I may do a more in-depth one later, but this one is just going to cover the very basics. Kind of assume that you're new to Zero Suit, or there's things that you don't know about her that would greatly increase your combo game. I'm going to talk about stuff like how to use Nair, forward air 1, Zair, up air, and then a few more of the more situational combo starters, as well as when you would use each one. Zero Suit's neutral air is arguably her most important combo starter. It's safe, so it gets a lot of usage in neutral if you know how to use it, and it's very rewarding from low to mid percents. At around high percent, it starts becoming DI dependent. If they DI out, it can be hard to follow up on it. But that's when you switch to one of the other combo starters. How you use it is right before you land. You can see that it hits at a downwards angle. So if you have really good timing, you can hit close to the ground, so you can hit low hurt boxes. And it also reaches very far in front of her, which makes it relatively safe to fish for in neutral. The only issue is that you have to jump first and then start going down, so you spend a bit of time in the air. So you do have to be careful about where you're jumping, especially against characters with good anti-airs like Mario. If you land as close to the ground as you can before hitting them, or when you hit them rather, you get a lot of good follow-ups off of it because it has such little landing lag. And from low to mid percents, it puts them close enough for Zero Suit to either do something immediately or catch up to them and then punish them with another move. I mentioned that it has a lot of range to it, but that can also be to its detriment. You can see right there, I naired at max range and jab didn't even reach at 0. F-tilt won't even reach in this situation. So distance is a good factor to keep in mind when you're comboing with Zero Suit. You will always get the best follow-ups if you hit them as close to them as possible, but that makes it a lot less safe. Not only are you now nairing in their face, but the fact that you're trying to time it to be as close to the ground as possible, also that you can get parried very often and pretty easily. The kinds of follow-ups you can get off of this is almost whatever you want. You have enough time to do any of one of her faster options, so things like flip jump might be too slow, but you can see I already did jab, forward tilt, I did dash attack, you can do down tilt, but that's a little hard because it pops them up off the ground. You can do forward air, F tilt like I said, but the most important ones I think are forward air, because it leads into a jab, and that combo pushes them very far horizontally. So you can start this combo in the middle of the stage and push them almost, if not all the way off the stage for an edge guard situation at low percent. You can also do Nair into up smash, which combos into, it can be an up air, a forward air, or a back air. And those both do over 25%, which isn't very much, especially from a character that you might expect very long combos from. But both of them put them in very bad situations where you can easily get more damage by reading or reacting to what they do to try and get out of the bad situation, like getting off of the ledge after the Nair fair jab combo, or how they try to land after the Nair up smash aerial. At mid percent, Zero Suit can no longer throw out immediately and still expect to get a follow-up, at least in most cases. She has to now move towards the opponent after she gets a follow-up, which means if you're fishing for Nair and you're slow to react, you will have to, if they block the Nair, you'll now be already committing to a dash, short hop, forward, or whatever you do next, which makes it a little bit less safe to fish for. But if you practice, I believe you can react to whether it hits a shield or hits the opponent. It's just difficult. The follow-ups that you can get now change to being short hop aerials mostly. If they don't DI out, then you can still get grounded moves like up smash or up tilt. But it's mostly going to be aerials. You can get fair, like I already showed. You can also get up air. If they DI in, then you can get an empty rising short hop into an up air that you are fast falling with, so that you land almost immediately and get stronger follow-ups. It's hard to demonstrate since the CPU isn't DIing right now, but that's a good example. That gets a lot easier if they DI in. You can go for Nair into Nair. It's harder to follow up off of the second Nair because you have to take time to land, but it's still, you can still get true follow-ups off of it, and it pushes them closer to the ledge if you hit them with the Nair in mid stage. But maybe even more important than the aerials is the flip jump kick follow-up. It's her most famous follow-up for sure. And Nair is the combo starter that sets up for it the earliest and the most consistently, at least at this percent. You can hit them either close or far with Nair and still get the follow-up, but their DI changes how effective it is at different distances. Because this Mario isn't DIing, you saw me get the spike both times, but certain combinations of their DI and the spacing on the Nair can lead to unfavorable results for the Zero Suit. For example, if I hit him really close up and he DIs in, then I might be too close to get the spike and I'll get the sour spot instead. If I hit him with max range Nair and he DIs out, then he might fly too far for the flip jump to reach, and I'll end up whiffing. And especially if I'm aiming off stage, then I can put myself very far off stage with no flip jump to recover with, which would be very dangerous. At this high of a percent, Zero Suit's follow-ups on the opponent become more dependent on the opponent's DI. So if they DI out, then they get pushed further away, and it takes longer for Zero Suit to run along the ground than it takes for her to jump into the air, which means if they DI away, it's easier for them to air dodge before she can get to them with, say, a back air. That was with no DI, but if he DIs away, then not only will he be closer to the ground, so a full hop might go over his head, but I also need to run further before I go for the jump back air, which leads to him possibly being able to air dodge. If he DIs in, then I don't need to run as far because he doesn't get pushed as far away, and he gets pushed higher, which doesn't matter too much because Zero Suit already jumps so high. So I have a controller that I can use to make the opponent DI, and if I can possibly perform this combo while the character DIs, or attempt to perform this combo, here's a run-up back air. Here is a run-up back air if the opponent DIs away. And I'm going to try my best to get this in one shot. Yeah, see, even though I believe I executed that well enough, he could air dodge before I reached him. If he DIs in instead, then it becomes easier because I don't need to run as far, and he's closer to full hop height. Just like that. And if they DI in, you can usually even get an up air if you want. It would do less damage, but it would put them in the air, so maybe that's something you might want in the given situation. And you can also, if they DI in, immediately full hop and flip jump. If I don't get it this try, I'm probably just going to cut this out. Alright, there we go. And especially on big bodies and floaties, that it becomes especially viable. But if you get the read wrong, then you are now flying towards them without your flip jump in the lag of flip jump kick. And if you were aiming off stage, that could mean being spiked or edge guarded, which makes it extremely dangerous to go for. That's the reason why at this percent I recommend switching to a different combo starter. And one of the ones that I recommend most for around this percent, around 90, is Forward Air 1. So that will be the one that I talk about next. Zero Suit's Forward Air got a lot of buffs in the transition from Smash 4 into Ultimate. So if you were a Smash 4 veteran and you haven't taken a good look at Forward Air 1, then this could be especially valuable for you. So not only did, along with just about everything else, Forward Air get landing lag reduction to be much easier to use as a combo and even as shield pressure now, but it also hits lower to the ground, so it's possible to hit characters like Mario or Kirby even relatively easily. It also has very nice knockback for combos. As you can see, he popped them up at a little bit less than a 45-degree angle, and really close to me at 90%. And I don't know if you saw that distance exactly, but that's pretty much perfect knockback for a flip jump kick combo. And right now I'm messing it up, but if you get it really close to the ground, so you have enough time and the right spacing, you can combo Forward Air 1 into flip jump kick at this percent really easily, which is a big reason why I recommended switching to it at this high percent from Nair. It's less safe on shield, but the combos into flip jump or back air are super reliable for an extremely long time. I'm even going to set him to 130, and you can see he is still in range. If he had DI'd out, it might be different, but you get the idea. So like I said, you can get Forward Air 1 into flip jump at this high of a percent really easily. And you can also, I'm trash at quick RARs, so hopefully I don't embarrass myself. But you can get a Forward Air 1 into an attack cancel or a quick RAR bear really easily at ledge to kill around this percent. You can even do a short hop boost kick to confirm. Those are the three that I go for mainly, but you can also always just go for a second forward air, maybe a rising up air, if, again, you want to put them in the air instead of off stage for some reason. The main thing to be concerned about with Forward Air 1 is that it actually has two angles, depending on how close you are to Zero Suit. So, if I can demonstrate, if you see on her leg where it's glowing blue, I believe that is a visual indicator for the knockback that sends them diagonally, or at least more vertically. If you hit them closer to her hips, then they go less vertically, which makes it harder to combo into flip jump. So you can see, perhaps, if I do this, even though he's not DIing, you can see that one was at least close. But if I hit him closer to the hips, then he gets a kind of weird, more vertical knockback. Or more horizontal knockback, rather. Which can make it harder to get flip jump kick and sometimes harder to get back air. But it makes it possible to just do a run-up grounded boost kick. So you can get the grounded, stronger boost kick instead of a short hop, aerial, weaker boost kick. As I said, you can get really reliable combos up to a really high percent. So you can still do all those things at like 130 as long as you're moving forward with the forward air, so you don't have to, there's less distance when the landing leg ends, so you don't have to dash as far. At lower percents, forward air is kind of weird, especially if you get the hitbox. They might not get popped up very high, so you might, on fast followers especially, you might not be able to even get Forward Air 1 into Forward Air, but it works on Mario. But you can still get Forward Air into Up Smash, you can get Forward Air into Fair, like I just showed, and almost anything you want, kind of like Nair at 0. But I still recommend going for Nair at this lower percent because it's safer to fish for. At mid percent, forward air is kind of weird because they become able to DI it, but it's not enough knockback to combo into flip jump kick. So there's really not a reason to use it over forward air, except to mix, or over Nair, except to maybe mix your opponent up. Forward air 2 even has some combo potential, especially at low percent. It's just kind of hard to get. It's kind of hard to land perfectly so that you hit them with forward air 2 before landing. But if you hit a shield with forward air 1 with a spacing so that forward air 2 comes out before you land, you can catch people dropping shield or trying to hit you with not a shield option, which makes it good for shield pressure in addition to being able to combo off of it like so. At percents higher than the ones I showed, Zair becomes a better option, so I'm going to talk about Zair next. Zair is another very strong combo starter in Zero Suit's toolkit, but I think it might be the most underused one by most beginner Zero Suits. It's, I think, on the level of Nair in not only how safe it is, it and Nair are both -2 on block if you land immediately after touching the shield, but it also has this much range on it, and it's a very reliable combo starter, especially at high percents where Nair stops being reliable. So at this lower percent, they go almost nowhere, which leads you to be able to combo into almost whatever you want, much like Nair and forward air. But it has such little percent that, especially on small characters and fast fallers, if you try to combo it into forward air, it might not connect properly because they don't get popped up high enough. But if you hit them with point blank, then you can still get jab, forward tilt. This one doesn't pop them up very high, so you can even get down tilt reliably as long as you're close enough. But there's always the chance that you Roy zone on it, which kind of sucks. The further away you are from them when you hit the Zair, the harder it is to follow up. At max range, pretty much the only thing you can get is down tilt. But at point blank, like you saw, you can get a bunch of stuff. You can even get up smash to start the B&B we saw, and you can get forward air, but like I said, sometimes it doesn't connect. The strength of Zair comes in how long it takes for it to cause tumble. So if you didn't know, you can only DI a move if it causes tumble. And that's something you can look into somewhere else. I don't want to spend a long time talking about that in this video. But it means that your combo is going to be extremely reliable because they can't DI it. So you can see even at 90, Mario still doesn't get put into tumble, which means that there's nothing he can do about this combo, which would kill him almost from the middle of FD at 90. And that's extremely strong, extremely reliable combo that works for a very long window. Even when it starts causing tumble, you can still, if you're close enough, cover either DI with an immediate boost kick. And that works especially well on floaties. On floaties also, you can get a raw back air pretty easily. You can even sometimes get a flip jump kick if you hit them at mid distance like this and they DI in. If it's a fast faller or a mid faller and they DI away, then it can be very hard to catch up to them before they hit the ground. But in which case they are almost definitely going to be put into a tech situation. So if they're kind of a fat body, then you can jab reset them with jab 1 and then go from there if they miss the tech. Or you can tech chase, which is another way of confirming a kill if you have a good reaction time or you've practiced reacting to tech options. But even still, for most characters, even if they DI away at a very high percent, if you hit them with in advancing, so moving towards them, a very close range there, you can dash and then up B and catch them before they even hit the ground in most cases. And you see Mars go for this a lot. It's very reliable, very strong, and you should be doing it. especially at percents where Nair stops being reliable. Up air is another one of Zirsu's central combo starters, along with Nair and Zair, in my opinion. It just works very differently from the other two. So it is about as safe on block as Nair and Zair are, but it doesn't have the range that they do, which makes it kind of predictable. They can kind of see that you're not at Nair or Zair distance, so they can tell that you're going to try and hit them with an up air. Can lead to it being buried. But if you get a whiff punish, especially, up air becomes extremely potent. At 0, you can see that it doesn't put them anywhere like the other ones I've been talking about. So you can get up smash again, so you can get the up smash into aerial combo. You can get a forward air into a jab combo. Up tilt, you already saw. Forward tilt, you can get jab, etc. But it puts them into tumble relatively early, around the same time Nair does, which forces you to cover DI, especially because the DI against this move is much more drastic than it was for Nair or forward air. So for those two, the DI changed the angle a little bit from being diagonal to being slightly more vertical or slightly more horizontal. But for this one, if he DIs away, you can see, and I'll actually put him to a higher percent so that it's easier to see. If he DIs away, he actually goes to a 45-degree angle. Let me see if I can time this. Oh, I'm just messing up right now. All right. You can see, okay, not quite 45, but very much to the side. It's not just vertical. And if he DIs in, then he goes straight up. So that's a big difference between the two angles, which forces you to read the DI most of the time. It's going to be very hard or impossible to cover both DIs. But you can usually assume that they DI out by habit, which would allow you to get stuff like a jump aerial. And I'm no longer DIing with the Mario, so take this with a grain of salt. But you can get a jump aerial. You can do that with either DI, but it becomes a lot easier if you don't have to jump straight up. You can get up air into more up airs, especially if there's platforms that you can reset on. You can even get up air into immediate boost kick, and that works even if they DI away. But if you misread the DI, when you go for landing up air into boost kick, then you can get punished very hard. Oh, at high percents, I should talk about how landing up air to boost kick is actually a kill confirm. So you have to read the DI even harder at high percents, because if they DI away during this combo at this high of a percent, then you'll actually have to dash forward before the boost kick to make it connect. If they DI in, they'll still go straight up, so you just boost kick straight up. If you jump up, you can react to their DI while you're jumping, and then either go for the boost kick or don't, based on if you got the DI right. So say I read him to DI in, I up air, and then I jump straight up, and then when I meet him there, then I boost kick. And if he DIs away, then I react to the fact that I'm not next to him and I don't boost kick. So up air to aerial boost kick weaker, because aerial boost kick is weaker than grounded boost kick, but it's safer. I don't want to underrate the fact that it combos into itself, because you can get stuff like up air into short hop, falling up air into more up airs, or if you're on like Battlefield, then this can lead into 4, 5, 6 up airs maybe. And you can reset at any time to go for an air dodge read or something even more potent. There's even the fact that if they DI away or they don't DI, then if you hold in during the flip jump, you can combo it into flip jump kick. It's kind of wild, and it requires you to read that they DI out, but I don't know, it's kind of cool. So if you hit somebody with it, you can say like, yeah, I got you with landing up air into flip jump kick instead of any of my 4 other confirms into flip jump kick, and be really impressive. I don't know. Next, I'm going to talk about the more unique combo starters that she has, which are Paralyzer Shot and Down Smash. Paralyzer Shot and Down Smash are 2 very unique combo moves. I believe the only projectiles that stun in the game besides these are Pac-Man's Bell and Corrin's Water Shot. So chances are you aren't familiar with using stun to combo when you're picking up Zero Suit. So allow me to give a quick description on stun. Stun time is completely dependent on the launch of the move. So you can see that when I hit him with down smash at 0, he went nowhere, which made the stun last almost no time. But if I set him to max percent, then you can see that he gets stunned for much longer because he gets launched much further away. You cannot mash out of stun. I see a lot of people try to mash to decrease stun time. That does nothing. You can DI the launch that comes after the stun. I believe you can SDI the thing that stuns you. I'm not entirely sure on that. And I know that it's considered electric, so it doesn't affect Olimar's electric Pikmin. Paralyzer Shot, unlike Down Smash, stuns for the same amount of time regardless of percent, which means very reliable combos regardless of percent, as long as you know how the Paralyzer Shot is going to behave with that amount of charge at that distance. So the 2 important factors of Paralyzer Shot are how much you charge it and the distance. So you can see that uncharged Paralyzer Shot stuns for almost no time, charged Paralyzer Shot stuns for a long time, and then somewhere in the middle is still a good amount of time. The distance can make it easier or harder to follow up. So at point blank, if you get an uncharged Paralyzer Shot, then the only things that you have time to combo into are those 3 moves: jab, up tilt, and boost kick, unless I'm wrong. If you hit them with a max range Paralyzer Shot, I believe the only thing you can get might be a dash attack. It might not even be possible to do that, because the Paralyzer Shot moves so quickly, and Zero Suit has to spend time closing the distance. If you get a charged Paralyzer Shot, not only do you have the time to do whatever you want if you get it at point blank, but if you get it at max range, then you still have pretty much the time to do whatever you want. So a really consistent kill confirm is Paralyzer Shot into flip jump. You can bury them out of Paralyzer Shot. You can just go for a regular flip jump kick. You can run up to them and boost kick, or you can go for any one of the combo starters that I talked about before or that I have yet to talk about in this video. Oh, one more important detail about stun is that you cannot stun into stun. Once you get stunned, that character is immune to stun until they hit the ground again. So if you go for Paralyzer Shot into down smash, it will skip the down smash stun and it will just go for the knockback. So don't try to combo Paralyzer Shot into down smash or vice versa. Down smash, as I already showed, is dependent on their percent. And as you already saw, stunning them at a very low percent leads to almost no stun time, so it's very hard to get follow-ups. But once you get to like 15 or 20, you start being able to combo into a bunch of stuff. Once you get to like 50, you start being able to combo into falling aerials. It's just kind of strict because you're really cutting it close. Once you hit like 60, it becomes possible to combo into a flip jump kick, but you have to angle it in, so it's not very useful unless they're at the very ledge. I say about 70 is when it starts being very useful, because now you start getting able to confirm it into flip jump kick really reliably. You get to boost kick. You get plenty of time to line up a follow-up from a landing aerial. Once you get to like 80 or 90, if they're anywhere near the ledge, that's when I just decide to combo it into one of the kill confirms that we already talked about. One more detail that I don't want to forget is during the stun of Paralyzer shot, they are considered to be on the ground, which is why you're able to bury out of it. This also means that you can push them forward by running into them. And you may have seen Mars do this in a tournament stream. So if you paralyze them near the center of the stage, you can walk them closer to the ledge to get an earlier kill percent for a boost kick. But you do have to be careful of their crumple animation, because a lot of characters make that kind of bent C shape with their body, which can cause boost kick to whiff on some characters during this animation. So against those characters, maybe try and do the boost kick a little bit early before they go into this animation. During down smash, they are considered to be in the air, so flip jump does not bury, it spikes, and you just run through them. I believe that's it for the especially strong combo starters. So now I'm going to talk about some of the weaker ones, some of the more niche combo starters, starting with up smash. As I said, these are the more niche combo starters, so they're kind of situational. They might not combo for very long, they might not combo into very many things, but I believe that they were worth mentioning, even if it's only for a joke. For example, did you know that at 0 or close to 0, Samus can pivot cancel a forward tilt and then combo it into jab? I bet you didn't. There's no reason to go for that combo, but I thought it was funny. There's also down tilt. Down tilt is probably one of the better of the situational combo starters, because at low percent it very consistently leads into a forward air, which can lead into the jabs or a forward tilt. If they DI it out, it stops comboing reliably at like 25, 20. So don't rely on it too much, because they just get pushed at so horizontal of an angle that you can't really follow up off of it. As you can see, if they DI in, then it combos for a really long time and you can get an up air for it. You can even get it into a ladder if they DI down tilt in. You can combo it into boost kick for a while, but I don't think you can combo into it at percents where it kills. You can hit the ledge with it, which means that you can start a combo there potentially. But again, I wouldn't rely on it. It's I'm only mentioning it now for a reason. Up smash, as you saw, combos into aerials close to 0, but it can also do so closer to mid percents. Like 30, 40, 50, you can still get an up air after it. It's possible to get a ladder from it, but it's very hard. That's about all there is to say on it. It stops comboing around 50 because it is a much stronger move now than it was in Smash 4, so instead it starts killing relatively earlier, like around 120. So if there's a character that you can't land a boost kick or a kill confirm on, then you can try catching its jump and killing it with up smash. There's also held plasma whip. So you may not know this if you haven't been paying very close attention to Zero Suit's meta, but there are two versions of plasma whip. The one where you tap B kills, this one, and the one where you hold B pulls them in. It was put together very strangely, so people can fall out of it, especially if you're moving towards them with it, or especially if they're in the air, and it kind of Roy zones if you kind of land on top of them with like the very last hit of it. But if you get the full thing, usually it connects, and you can combo it into an up air, but it's very tight. The execution has to be nearly frame perfect to get a true combo into up air. But you can still frame trap, and it still puts them right above you. So if they do nothing, they can air dodge, or you can up smash. They might air dodge into the ground, and then you can get something stronger. That kind of stuff. Oh, down air. Down air can combo on big bodies and floaties, and almost anyone at low percent, especially if they don't DI away. I've even gotten full ladders that have started from a down air as a combo starter. Down air obviously not safe to fish for at all, but it has its uses. It can shield poke if their shield is low enough that their head is kind of sticking out, like this. And it has 2 hits, so if they parry or block the first hit and then don't block the second hit, then you can start a combo from that. And it can beat out projectiles. So a very niche use for down air is that it goes through Olimar's up smash due to it being considered a projectile. The only other thing I might mention is burial of flip jump. So I'm going to assume that you're at least kind of familiar with burial mechanics, which leads you to be able to do pretty much anything you want from a burial, especially at high percents. Usually around 90 or 100, unless the person is a mash god, they will not be able to get out of the burial before you have time to line up whatever you want to do to them. Usually, if it's that high of a percent, it's just time for them to say goodbye to their stock. But if they're not that close to the ledge, maybe you choose to Zair, and then if they're at a really high percent, the Zair might do enough to knock them out of the earth. Otherwise, forward air 1 hits low, like I mentioned already. So that's an option to hit them out of the earth and push them close to the ledge. I think that's about it for Zero Suit's combo starters. Back air can combo, but it's extremely niche, and I don't think it's really something for you to fish for at zero. So like you can get back air into up smash or back air into dash attack. If you hit somebody so that's standing on a platform so they start higher than usual, or if you hit them out of the air with sour spot back air, which is the closed hitbox, it can combo into flip jump kick, but I don't know how well that's been tested, and it's kind of a niche situation. You may have noticed that I did not mention throw combos, and if again you haven't been paying very much attention to Zero Suit's meta since Smash 4, you may have been confused by that, but it is not a mistake. They added a ton of end lag to Zero Suit's down throw, so it doesn't have any true combos now. Neither does back throw or forward throw. It's possible to get short hop Zair. I think that might be a true combo on floaties from a back throw, but up throw instead kills now at like 170 with good DI. With bad DI or no DI, it can be like 150 on a midweight. That's about it. I think I mentioned everything that I wanted to mention for Zero Suit's combo game. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something. I'm going to link my social media and the Zero Suit Discord in the description of the YouTube video when I upload this. And hopefully you look forward to my next video. I think it might be the one on flip jump kick combos, but I don't know. There's a few other ideas that I have for videos already. But I am in kind of a busy time of my life, so I'm not sure when that'll be. But again, thank you. This has been Equinox, and you can catch me on Twitter or in the Zero Suit Discord anytime.